Live on Facebook and YouTube. Let's start with this. Hey guys, I wanted to thank our sponsors, Bank to the Future, a global online investment platform that allows investors to invest in fintech companies and financial innovation. With over 50,000 accredited investors already active on the platform, they managed to raise $30 million for their new token in just 15 hours. Check out the link in the description of this video below to learn how you can become whitelisted today. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm your host, Sam Capizzi, here today. It is Valentine's Day. What's going on? What's up, the original Oppo, Cardinal. What's up? What's up, Sir Somniac? Let's go. What's up? Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Today's Thursday. Tuesday. I don't know what day it is. I gotta look at the calendar. It's Wednesday. And today will be the last day we do videos here from the office, I guess. We are going to Dallas tomorrow for Bitcoin Super Conference. If anyone's in Dallas, hit us up. We'll be there. We'll be speaking on Friday, actually. So maybe anyone in Dallas attending, maybe we'll run into each other. Today is a good day overall for the markets. Revain down the most. Revain was actually one of the few ICOs I participated in earlier last year. Doing taxes, watching Crypto Somniac. Taxes aren't fun. Speaking of taxes, I think a lot of you know our plans to perhaps move to Puerto Rico. And someone made a good comment, and I want to address it in case he's watching the video here. Let me take a look and show you the comment. I did a video covering Crypto Utopia in Puerto Rico, which is basically... There's two acts going on right now, Act 20 and 22. You can apply for them in crypto or in Puerto Rico. One is to become a citizen or a resident of Puerto Rico, while 20 is to file for a company there. And someone made a good comment, and why don't I just address his response here on air, if I can find it. Let me see. I thought it was near the top. How do you know a person is an engineer? It's the first thing they tell you. LOL. Hey, this is Dennis, and I lived in Puerto Rico. That wasn't him either. Where is this guy's comment? Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. It's interesting how your tune has changed about taxes. You came down pretty hard on a person a few months ago that left a comment saying that there is no need to pay taxes. Don't get me wrong, I like this new change of heart. Just saying, it would be nice to hear you say maybe my ideas about taxation were wrong. Taxation is theft. Otherwise, you look like a greedy hypocrite just saying what it looks like from here. So I do think you should pay your taxes. I think you should pay your taxes if you are a United States citizen. I have nothing wrong with paying taxes, but I do have something wrong when they are absurdly high. And I'm in California. I think they're the worst state that I could be in as regarding taxes. And I honestly, I think most people should pay taxes. I think most people, don't run businesses, don't run a company, and they don't have the opportunity and, money to employ people and do different things with their money. And as someone who, loves blockchain technology, wants to help change the world, has money to hire people and employ people, I'd rather use that extra money and help build things in the economy that I think are worth it. I think the government has a lot of, faults when it comes to spending money and appropriating it into certain places. My mic is giving me a hard time. I gotta rescrew it into the table. I think they appropriate money poorly, in my honest opinion. So I would like to not pay taxes and be able to appropriate my money better. Choose what charities to give it to, what causes to help, and what and whom to employ, and what companies and things that I want to build. So, I think taxes are good for most people, because I don't think a lot of people, build their own businesses and have that, opportunity. But I don't know. I like to build my own stuff and my own companies that I think will help impact the world, So kind of like, I really respect what Elon Musk is doing, and he has a very, broad vision and is helping create the world. And I'm sure that he you know, finds loopholes in taxes so he can help build out what he's doing. And I would like to do the same, you know. So moving to Puerto Rico could be a cool opportunity to, you know, save money and help grow the business and all sorts of stuff like that. So that was my comment in regards to his comment. Anyway, today the markets are, and yeah, Dub's winner. I'm a contractor in tech for the gut. Money is spent so poorly. There was actually a really good comment by my friend Will, who does a lot of marketing for us, helps out here at CryptoSomniac, and he's an ex-government employee. And I remember him just telling a story about how funds, even in the military, is just so poorly appropriated, and it's just ridiculous how, you know, we just almost like throw bricks of dollar bills out the window and just ridiculous stuff. And you know, you've heard that story where money gets to the end of the year and then it gets spent on all these things that we don't need just to use the money, you know, just to use it up, which is kind of silly to me. But, you know, everything works on a fiscal year and you have to appropriate it before the year ends, and you lose the opportunity to do that. So, you know, that's obviously, you know, pretty shitty as well. So there's a lot of issues. I mean, I'm not saying I can run a country. I'm not saying I want to be president, and I think I'm good enough to appropriate money to everyone. So I think there should still be taxes, but, you know, at least with my money, at least let me make my own decisions as to what causes and things that I want to support, and let me be my own judge of character and choose to support and build what I want to build, I guess. So can't the whole video can't stream the whole video because the girlfriend and I are doing a Valentine's Day squiggle. Why don't we start with looking at some of the things that I'm looking to buy? So, and some of the news out there. So I want to cover some thoughts, especially because I have expressed interest here on YouTrust, and I now express a lot less. So Coinbase Commerce. Let's start with that. There is something called Coinbase Commerce, which Coinbase is apparently, you can play with it. Here's a demo. You can get started and you can use it. And I saw it being added to basically the Y Combinator, Shopify earlier. So if you're, you know, if you have a store, you could use the Shopify plugin and you can use Coinbase Commerce to sell items on your store and have customers be able to pay for them in Bitcoin or in Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Litecoin, you know, you name it. And I think that's really cool. And it's something that we'll be looking to perhaps add once we have more merch on our stores, you know, merchandise on our stores for people to pay for things in crypto. And there's a couple of things that I want you guys to take away from this because, you know, you might already know the news, but there's some pieces of info that I want to start with about this. The first is that YouTrust, I don't like it anymore with the introduction of Coinbase Commerce. They are, you know, direct competitors essentially at this point. And in all honesty, Coinbase is going to wipe floor, clean house with their, you know, edition of this. So I see YouTrust standing almost zero chance against them. YouTrust does a couple of things. They do remediate payments and dispute them and resolve them if there are disagreements, which I'm not clear on if Coinbase does this for their Coinbase Commerce account. So there could be some differences. So if you want to hold on to it, by all means you could, but I'm going to be looking to sell off my YouTrust at a time when I feel is good, when it pops, if, you know, it's super green. And I guess we all lost trust in YouTrust. Trust me on this statement. So I'll just be looking to get rid of it. Again, it was never a large percentage of my portfolio or anything, but it's a coin that I've talked about here on the channel. So I wanted to let you know what I'm doing. Next time I see it rise, everything seems to have its green day. I think, like I said, a lot of things aren't working yet and are smooth. So anytime there is an ability to basically whatchamacallit, you know, sell it off and it rises 20, 30, 40% in a day while other things are not necessarily doing that, I'll look to sell it off just as a nice pop. If we go back out to the front page, you know, for example, Litecoin's having a great day today, and it might be a great day to sell off Litecoin. If I see a day similar like that in the near future to YouTrust, then I'm going to take advantage of it, and I'm going to basically get out. And someone on Twitter asks, what about REC and Coinbase Commerce? So I think REC actually is a lot more interesting than YouTrust, and definitely a lot different than Coinbase Commerce. Request Network is a platform that offers a lot of services well beyond what Coinbase and YouTrust are doing. So this doesn't affect my position in Request Network at all. I think they're very different, and they are different. Request Network, just to highlight some of the differences, is basically, for one, they can audit trails of money and do that on the blockchain, which is a lot easier and a lot more simplified than what you could do, via typical routes. It is very difficult to audit things, of course, and I think auditing is a huge benefit to Request Network, and I think really cool, and it could be a great solution. In addition to that, Request Network is kind of like a platform that allows APIs to be built onto, it basically allows you to capture APIs and other data from other companies and build off of them. They're kind of like a platform that you'll be able to do a lot of different things on. So I do think that Request Network is vastly different from YouTrust and Coinbase. So I have not, I won't be, this won't affect my positions in that. So do like watching you more than your YouTube partner. Oh well, sucks for him, I guess, right? Why is my mic so big? Because it's a good mic, and good mics are big. Everything is bigger and better when it's bigger. Hey Sam, wondering if you think Tron is due for a spike. They have their beta version coming out soon. So I think Tron, and why don't we graph Tron? So I wanted to talk about some of the things that I might be looking to buy, and I think, why don't I start with Kyber? I think Kyber is at a very good price right now, and there's a couple of areas, and it was something that we talked about in the Crypto Somniac Advantage today, and there really is not much going on. What was I going to say? There's nothing that is new to me that I'm buying. We talked about Origin Trails, or at least I think Snay did. That was one of our recent pickups that was new, and we could talk about that as well. But there's nothing new really, and I'm not much of a trader. I like to buy and hold and get in for the long haul, and I rarely sell things, and I only look to acquire. Typically, I either acquire things, additional pieces of things that I like. For example, I'm all about trying to get as much Bitcoin as I can and as much Ethereum as I can, and not really trade so much. I'm just looking to acquire more. And for example, Kyber I think is at a very good price, and it's one of those things that I'm looking to pick up more of as it's dropped. And there's not a whole lot else that I'm like actively seeking or trading. And sometimes it's all right to just sit inside of Bitcoin. Give yourself time to do research on other projects, and that's what I do. I'm not extremely I'm not someone who wants to just jump onto things and get into them for the fun of watching them ride and for a few percentages gains and trade them and flip them. I like to be in things and earn a lot of money. I don't typically trade often. I feel that it's much more important to me to be into Ethereum than than to just watch it go to 1,000 while I'm sitting on the sidelines hoping that it came back down after I sold it, and hope for the best. So I really focus on fundamentals of a project, and if I really like it, then acquire more, or if I learn more about it and perhaps I got into it preemptively, I'll look to chop it off, which I've done plenty of times. There are projects where I'll get into them before before I've done proper homework and due diligence, and I never over leverage myself. So it's okay when you do that. It's okay to lose money. So it's basically you get time to do your own research and so forth. So I can see that we obviously broke down from this pattern here that Kyber has been traveling on, which is good and bad. It depends how you look at it. From a long-term investment standpoint, I see it as a great opportunity to pick up some more Kyber, because Kyber is one of the few cryptocurrencies that I've liked that is newer and acquired more as time went on. So it's good from that standpoint. Of course, on the short term, it's not great. They've had a lot of partnerships, and it's disappointing to see price go down, but that's fine. I'm looking at it in terms of years here as opposed to days to weeks. So I will draw here on the board here, fib retracement. And if we start at the bottom and we go to the top, you can see we broke down through our first Fibonacci level, well, the second one rather, and we are past, what is it, 382, past the 382 mark, meaning that we've pulled back almost 40% of our original position. Well, already more than 40. You can see we're down here, so about 40% of the high. We've pulled back that amount, 40% of our position at our high. So I have some orders set. In fact, I bought some right at this region. I remember exactly. It was around 0.0029. So I'm down a little bit, but that's okay. I think that you'll probably see some consolidation, and we'll probably go like this. And I've told you every time that I pay a lot of attention to this level here, this 61.8 region. And I have a strong feeling we'll get back there. I picked some up here though, just in case. I think Tron is I think Kyber is a very good project, so I think it can, maybe it'll bounce back. We'll see. But I did buy a little bit extra at this level, and I'd be looking to buy more should it drop more. I think it is a good project, and seeing how it's progressed over the past several weeks and in the partnerships, the launch of their beta has given me confidence that things are going well with Kyber. So I'm definitely interested in it. Do you recommend someone to learn to trade Forex apart from crypto? So despite myself not being a trader as much, I do have a course, and we're actually working on a second course that teaches you how to utilize the charts and trade. They can work in tandem, and I think there is money to be made from charting and trading if you're good at it. But it can be time consuming. It is a job, and that's fine if you want that to be your job. Me personally, I don't have enough time to trade. I don't want to trade, as I have another job, and it's to teach people and educate people about cryptocurrency, and it's difficult to log into your account every day and trade. It's a job. And but however, that being said, it is, worth being able to chart, and especially, even at the long-term scenarios, and knowing some things. I still look at the charts almost daily when I'm looking to get into things, and they're still good. And we have a course that goes over that on our website and charting. But why don't I look at the other questions? So, hey Sam, was wondering if you could evaluate Tronic's development activity since the beta version is coming out. Christina Nichols, have you sold a few projects lately, like Wabi? Yes. So I expressed disinterest in Wabi after just listening to their interview. I wasn't that excited or interested in the project. There's projects that I get in, just like that, for example, that I've not either done my homework on, or I'm not super bullish on, or, and again, that's why you don't want to over leverage yourself and get into anything larger than, I think, 15 to 20% max in any one position, aside from Bitcoin and Ethereum, is pretty large. That's about the largest I'll go into a position. And any new positions I enter, it's usually not more than 1% of my overall portfolio. It's usually a very small amount at first. And from there, I decide whether or not to accumulate, or, maybe I got into it and I didn't like it. So Wabi is one of those. I think YouTrust will be another one of those. I think YouTrust is not, I think they don't stand a chance to compete really with Coinbase. So I'm not too interested in YouTrust either. So but why don't we look at the Tron charts, because I see Tron being asked about several times. And let me pull up the questions on Facebook. By the way, hit that thumbs up button if you are enjoying the video, if you're happy, if you like our content. Subscribe. I'm trying to pull up the Facebook questions. Where did they go? Let me reload this. And Tron is consolidating. That's pretty good. I like to see that. Give me just 1 second to pull up some of your questions. Should I sell my Litecoin? We'll talk about Litecoin after Tron. So Tron is, again, I think Tron has a lot of the fundamentals there, and despite all the FUD, I don't know why I drew that line. That was an accident. Despite all the FUD that comes out from Tron, I think Tron is still a very solid project. And again, don't over leverage yourself in any one position, but Tron has a lot of developers that they've hired from Alibaba. That's just promising. And they have also are listed on a ton of exchanges with a ton of volume. And I believe in their team. And it is approaching oversold levels. This is actually one of the few coins that I might be interested in buying right now. Like I said, you don't have to really buy anything just for the sake of buying things. You know, I come on here every day to talk about stuff, and there hasn't been much that I've been doing with my portfolio. I'm kind of just letting it watch it grow. Couple moves here and there. I did recommend Dragon is very cheap on the low, so that was something that we bought several days ago, and you could look to flip it for some profit today. It's up a lot, 27-28% in one day is great. Is definitely great. So Tron, I feel like, is in a very good position as well. It's one of the few that I think is good lately that is at a good price. Like I said, a lot of the altcoins, in my opinion, are actually relatively high still when you compare them to their Bitcoin valuation. I feel Bitcoin, conversely, is very low, and it's not a bad time to be sitting in just Bitcoin and just chilling, you know? I think that it's not a bad time. I really don't. But Tron is, on a lot of levels, it's a good price. You know, these are some of the things I see. So I see that it's consolidated and it's been holding on this line for quite some time, which is good. I like that. You can see that. That is pretty clear. If I were to draw a Fibonacci retracement, I can already tell you it's right in the region where I normally like to buy it. And honestly, that candle wick is huge. So sometimes I only go to right here. It's okay to go wick to wick or candle to candle. It just as long as you're consistent, as long as on each end you're, you know, going from one to one. But it's well below some of the regions I like to buy, and you can see that it's consolidated inside of these Fibonacci retracement levels here, which is good. It means that it's got a lot of support here. It hit there, it hit here, it hit here again several of times. And it looks like we're going down there. So it's good to see that there. It's good to see that consolidation. And we see the MACD kind of looks like it's about to cross and go back the other way. So it looks like it's still going down. We see like it might cross here. Boom, boom. But maybe we'll go back up. We'll see. But I think overall it's a pretty strong project, and if you haven't gotten into it earlier, it might be a great time to pick it up. And you know, anytime you see stuff like this where it's greatly oversold, you know, just be careful. It was a rare occurrence. I mean, it's not a rare occurrence. This happens a lot in cryptocurrencies where things jump up super high, and I think that it's, you know, take some profits when that happens. Someone says same thing about Verge happened. Yeah, I never liked Verge as a project fundamentally, and I had warned people on the channel to sell it or to stay away from it. So I don't know that Verge ever recovers. I don't think anything about Verge is cool or spectacular. Even if it is a legitimate project, I don't think it offers anything unique in the space that's worth investing in. Litecoin. Let's talk about Litecoin. So recently I found out that Litecoin, LitePay, is Litecoin leads rebound on news that LitePay is coming February 26th. So apparently there is a payment processor called LitePay that is going to allow merchants to basically accept Litecoin as a form of payment and probably help drive demand for that. And I think it's pretty big news for Litecoin overall. You know, we saw similar things with Bitcoin Cash going up, everyone complaining about the fees on Bitcoin Cash and it being, you know, too slow, and could it replace Bitcoin as the currency of use? And we won't talk about whether or not what I think. We've talked about Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash plenty of times, but knowing what that did to Bitcoin Cash and its run up, it doesn't surprise me to see similar things with Litecoin. Now, Litecoin has been in our portfolios for a long time. I feel it's one of the safest, most stable cryptocurrencies out there. It's especially in terms of security, because Litecoin has been around the longest, one of the longest coins to date ever out. It is what was I going to say? It is sorry. It has been around since I think 2011, and we're approaching all-time highs, which were back at the end of 2015 or the middle of 2015 for Litecoin, at least in terms of Bitcoin. And it's good to see us back there. We broke the all-time highs that we seemed to have been hitting the past several months. We've saw that, and yes, Litecoin Cash is a scam. If you were to ask me, I think Charlie Lee even tweeted about it. But we got past all these marks right here. And someone comments, Monero is better than Verge. Absolutely. But we've broken out of here, and we're kind of breaking out. And let me look at the rest of the technicals. So if you're in Monero already, great. If you're not in Monero, please don't jump in. These are just golden rules that we've taught ourselves to never, ever, ever chase anything. You have to remove your emotions from the pie here, from the game. I never, ever want to trade off emotion, and never want to FOMO into something. It doesn't matter. It will always come back. I'm not going to promise you that, actually. It won't always come back, but 99% of the time, things will come back down to earth. And to be honest, there's just more potential downside than there is potential upside to jumping in on something. It's just the nature of how things work. You're more likely to lose money when you jump into something that is already high than you are to gain money. So I never buy anything that looks so green as Litecoin does. You know, there's times where I might buy something that is a little up, marginally up, because it's still a good buy. You know, maybe like, Kyber, for example, we're up 3.3%, but I still think it's a great buy. But, something like Litecoin, conversely, is just something you have to tell yourself that, hey, it's not worth it. When you break highs like this that you've been at, you have no ceiling, and it's difficult to say where we will end up at. It's difficult for, the demand and the supply to basically determine what its price valuation should be at there. So you get a lot of you get massive volatility. So and that is typical. So it's difficult to say where the ceiling is, to be able to tell you, oh, hey, just sell it here, or maybe sell it now. It becomes difficult. There's some indicators that can help measure that. And if we were to zoom in, maybe we can zoom in if you're interested in trading it. But again, I'm looking at all of it from a technicals, and I think it's a very good time. I think Litecoin is just a very good coin in general. It's a strong, fundamentally good coin. So I mean, if you're looking to buy it today and you're not looking to sell it anytime soon, then it would be good. But actually, looking at the charts, it does not look like it's a great time to get in. In fact, it actually looks like a good time to get out, from what I'm seeing, if you are looking to flip it in the short term. So let me show you. I can see this happening right here. This is actually a telltale sign to get out of Litecoin. One of the most common that I'll use for me. This is what I see. This is the hourly, and I see price going like this. And this is a very good textbook example, especially if you're new to the channel. So pay very close attention to this, and let's see how it plays out, because I could pretty much tell you I'm pretty certain that Litecoin's going to drop right now, and this is why. You see the price going up from there to there, over the past several hours. I just graphed that. We're on the hourly, and meanwhile you see RSI doing this, lower and lower highs. You see that over that same time period. This is basically, to me, this is not to me. This is a very classical indicator in the charts. It's called RSI bearish divergence. It means when the price is going up, meanwhile the RSI is going down, and it's having lower and lower highs. So they're diverging. They are going away from each other. You can see that. And maybe I should change the color so it's a little brighter. You see the yellow line? It is called RSI bearish divergence. And what that means is that the RSI is telling us that the price is probably A, overbought, and A, just the price is higher than the market is actually really telling itself in the graph up here. And I've used this indicator several times to help tell me when is a good time to sell and get out near the top of something. And it's a very good indicator, and it's one of the better ones. I think that, you know, if I had to guess, I'm going to tell you that Bitcoin is going to come down, and I already saw it jump right there with that red line. I saw it move. So if I had to tell you if Litecoin is coming down, I would say, yeah, it's looking like it is a good time to get out. But this is what I do when I see this. I don't gamble all in. Like, I'm not going to sell 100% of my Litecoin. I suggest laddering, and you know, if you have, say you have to have 1,000 Litecoin, you know, maybe you sell 250 of them right here, because it looks like a good time to exit. If you're wrong, that's okay. We keep going up. Then you're not out because you didn't, you know, sell all of it. But if you did, then you made well. You know, you can maybe double up your Bitcoin later on when it comes up, or maybe get 1.5 times the Litecoin that you got. Who knows? So don't go all in that position and hope that the Litecoin sells off and, you know, go 100%. I mean, unless you're really risky, you know, you could go for it, but it's looking like a good time to sell Litecoin, and that's what I see on the chart from charting it. And I can tell you with a high degree of certainty that it will probably fall in price over the next several hours or day or so. Not to say that it may fall and not pick back up, but right now it's looking like it is going to fall, and sorry for that. But all right, so that's it for Litecoin, I think. Hey Sam, wondering when you can expect Cardano to be available to host smart contracts. So we had an interview with Charles on the channel, and he basically said he was hoping for sometime later this year. It sounded like late this year. If I had to guess, in my honest opinion from hearing him talk, I feel like it would be probably not until 2019. I'm sliding away. I feel like it wouldn't be until 2019 when I just feel like they have a massive platform, and I think they're really cool, and I really like them, and I feel like a lot of that stuff is going to take time. I think the same thing for things like EOS, things like even Ethereum and Plasma, and switching to proof of stake. We've heard things like later this year. I think we will, it won't be for probably until next year, Cardano, if you're asking. You say you're not a trader, but you buy and sell often. So I don't think I buy and sell often. I might buy and sell once, twice, 3 times a week. For me, that is, and I mean, once, 2, 3 times a week in someone else's book, it might be considered a trader. It might not. Overall, I trade a very small percentage of my portfolio on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. Like I said, a lot of it is just chilling. I just let it sit, and you know, again, I'm not concerned too much with buying Bitcoin today at 5. You know, if I bought Bitcoin at say 6,000 versus 6,500, I eventually see Bitcoin going to 100,000. So I'm not too concerned about buying Bitcoin at 6,000 versus 6,500 when in the long term I see it going to, you know, 100,000. I'm not going to fret over, you know, that $500 difference. But you know, everyone, I guess, you know, trader to trader, it depends. I guess I could, you know, I do qualify, or I do consider myself, I guess, a swing trader, where it will be like week to week and a month to month basis. I never really sell something or buy something this morning at breakfast time and then look to trade it, you know, later that evening at night. I don't think that's the way to accumulate true wealth. I really don't. I think that it can be a job and money and to be honest. At that point, it's just a job, and it's not really true wealth. And I think any classical investor will tell you the same thing. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett, you know, all those guys. You'll hear the same things. So I don't have any info on Steemit. I have not heard of it, but I see a lot of other questions. What is it? What are the questions? Hey, Sam, was wondering. Oh, I was going to come in here and show you. I had an interview with, what's his name? The guy from Cardano. What is his name? Charles Hoskinson. You can take a look at that interview to learn more. It's 4 hours, so it's a doozy. You might fall asleep, but definitely a lot of interesting information. How to swing trade KuCoin? Is it going to $20 anytime soon? So I really actually like the exchange coins, and for multiple reasons. I like the fact that they are at least KuCoin and Binance. Now there are several coins, several exchange coins out there, but I really feel that because I like Binance and KuCoin, are the reasons why I like the token, and the tokens are very closely tied to the volume of the exchange, and I only see the volumes of these exchanges increasing over time, and it's happening every day. You know, a lot of these exchanges are suffering because they don't have the staff and support to handle all the volume, all the transactions, all the people, all the signups, and I think that this year we're going to see an influx of even more people come into crypto, and with that influx, more volume, more use on the exchange. And though the tokens are not directly correlated to how much volume is on the exchange, they are very, very closely tied. There is no proportional direct correlation, but because people will buy them to offset some of the fees in the platform, there will definitely be a very strong correlation. It's not a direct correlation, or an explicit, it's an implicit correlation. It's an implicit relationship there. That's basically with volume, it's basically going to increase, and I highly expect volume to continue to increase, especially on Binance, as their CEO is out parading around and doing interviews and getting attention and all that fun stuff that CEOs get to do. I do think Huobi token isn't bad either. I think that Huobi token is one of the larger exchanges out there, and it is very new. And I think it is, wow, it's up 23%, up to $3. That was a coin that we bought a couple of weeks ago when it came out, and it has done very well. Wow, I'm surprised to see it be so high. That is fast. But I do think Huobi is one of the biggest cryptocurrency exchanges out there. And if I show you Bitcoin, let's just see where Huobi is in ranks of Bitcoin. It is at number 32. No, sorry. Where is Bitcoin to? Let's just look at Huobi. It's not really what I wanted. BTC USD 100 million. Am I missing it? Where is it on this list? Here it is. It's number 15. So the BTC USDT pairing is 15. Ahead of it, you know, we have things like Litecoin and Bitcoin, these other pairings. So it's like one of the top, almost one of the top 10 Bitcoin exchanges in the world. So and they have a very similar model. You know, the token is very correlated. It gives you discounted fees, little things and properties in the platform. It'll also be very tied to volume. And Huobi, I'm sure, will continue to grow in volume. So I do like the Huobi token as well. Do you think Cardano and Tron have the strongest teams in cryptocurrency right now? I think Cardano does have a very strong team. I think it's very difficult to say. You know, in my opinion, who do I think have strong teams? I think Qtum has a very strong team. I think that Ethereum has a very strong team. I think that it's a good question. It's a good question. I'm not sure who else. Who else I could say has a fantastic team, but I do like the fact that they're hiring a lot of ex-Alibaba employees. Aziz asks, hey Sam, was wondering what are your favorite blockchain stocks right now? A little off topic. I am not a huge investor into the stock market anymore. I have very strong feelings about the stock market and it crashing very, very hard. And while we're on that topic, why don't we just look at the S&P 500 and see what happened the past couple of weeks. Meanwhile, you know, the S&P, we had a big crash. And if we look at it over the past month, we had that big crash that happened a couple of days ago, a couple of weeks ago, and we went down, you know, many points, 29 to like 26. We lost like 300 points, and we have not recovered. And meanwhile, Bitcoin's done very well over that same time period. It's gone up. If we look over it at the 3-month period, yeah, same thing. So one of the biggest falls we've ever had in a day. I don't know if it was the biggest ever, but wow, look at that. From our highs, that is a lot. That is a lot. Look at that. Look at how much we've gained in a year. We've lost that in a month in the stock market. Not even a month, a couple weeks. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is just, yeah, I'm not going to compare it and be like, oh my God, Bitcoin is just flying out of the water. Go buy Bitcoin. But I have very strong opinions that if the stock market were to ever crash, and I think it's going to in due time, in the next several years, I think that there's so much wrong with the traditional stock market world and finance and our economy right now that it's just a matter of time until something worse happens. Like, this is just the first sign to me that something a lot more serious is to come. And it's, you know, maybe we'll cover it up. We'll be all peachy. We'll continue to just forget about it. And, you know, life will go on. But I highly think that something's going to happen. And every 7, 8, 9, 10 years, you usually do. You have a correction. And, you know, 2008 was our last one. And then 2000, 2002 was our last one. And it happens every 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And no one is going to tell you or know when it's going to happen exactly. And all I know is the next one is coming. And it's been a while, and it's coming soon. And it's going to be hard, and it may be one of the worst that we've ever had. And I suspect and fully expect that that will fuel Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, financial freedom, some of the things that blockchain offers, and really spur a larger movement in that. And I think that the best is yet to come for cryptocurrency. And you don't want to miss that. I think that I feel very strongly about that. In fact, my money is really banking on that. So I don't have much in the traditional stock world. I have my 401k and a pension. I was lucky enough to get a pension at work. But you know what I did, actually? I've always believed more in myself than anybody else. So when I worked at work, I completely opted to not participate in my 401k for the first 6, 7, 8 months. And what I did is I saved that money and I bought myself a rental property. And it is done very well, I think, compared to the stock market. I think I've made more on my house in the past 2 years than I did on my 401k. After I bought my house, I started contributing to my 401k because I didn't have much else to plan for and wasn't thinking well enough, and marginally participated in my 401k and also got a benefit of having a pension for free. But I have never really done, you know, I haven't really ever believed that much in the stock market. I've traded in it and I've bought things, but that's the long answer to your question there. But the short answer to what blockchain stocks am I interested in? I think some of the cards like AMD stock, and you know, because they process these chips that people can mine off of. And I think over the last several years, they've done pretty well. We saw a lot of action the last couple of years. I think that can be one. Maybe IBM stock. They've obviously had a partnership last year with Stellar. I think it was last year. Semi-related. I think even Microsoft is pretty interested in blockchain technology, to be honest. And I think Microsoft is, I mean, a relatively safe investment stock, just being that it's, you know, Microsoft. But they're pretty involved. They're part of the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance. They've been so for several years now. I think 2015 was when I actually learned that Ethereum was, when I learned about the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance, Microsoft joining was what made me buy Ethereum initially. That was the first time I think I've learned about Ethereum, and I spent a couple of days and weeks learning more and decided to purchase. But Microsoft being part of Ethereum's Enterprise Alliance was one of the first things that, it was probably the biggest thing that made me buy Ethereum. So that's the short answer. Hi, Sam. Yesterday, Snay said he was anticipating Bitcoin to dip. Not crash, but dip down to 6 or 7K. Is that your opinion? Is weird how all that sell pressure has just disappeared. So I think it's definitely still possible. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I would not be either. So I wouldn't be surprised to see us head to 6 or 7 just as easily as I could see us go to 10 or 11. I do think 10 is a very psychological mark, and I think we will test it, and whether or not we break through it, I think will determine whether we move forward or if we head down. I could see us, marching forward again tomorrow, closer to that mark, and then we'll see. But I could see us heading to 6 to 7 just as easily as we could go to 12 or 13, and that's why we advocate, I guess, laddering in your orders. When we saw Bitcoin at 6,000, I remember being on here on the channel, literally telling you jokingly to sell everything, sell your car, sell your house to buy Bitcoin. And I said it on the day that it was right around $5,800, $6,000. And we tell you all the time, like we normally do, to just ladder in. We don't know if Bitcoin's going to bottom out at 4K. Is it going to bottom out at 2K? Is it going to bottom out at 8K? But to ladder in your orders to be safe. And I think that's the best way to play it. You should stagger in your orders because no one can ever be certain that it will, it will do what you think it's going to do. Komodo is up very well, very high, looking good. Again, Dragon Chain is very good, and Dragon Chain was one of those few coins that I said get in. It's at a steal right now, and we had a nice little pop. And you can take some profit, you can keep it, you can do whatever you want. It looks good though. What happened to Nano? Let me see if Nano is available to chart yet. Cool, it is. Yeah, smash that thumbs up button, guys. Oh man, Nano doesn't have much data for us to chart yet. That sucks. I was gonna chart it. Well, I think the short answer to your question there is anything that has a massive run up there, Zach, is that it comes back down to reality. Excitement and thrill gets the best of people, and they get buy, and it gets overbought, and then the market corrects and the whales get out. And this is very typical when you see a coin boom, 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 all the way to the top as it gets released or it gets a lot of hype and generates a lot of buzz, and then it, comes back down to reality. It's happened with Tron. It's happened with Cardano. It's happened with Bitcoin. It happens with everything, and it will probably happen again in the future. So why don't we take a look at one other coin? Here's a coin that I think you can bank on, that I think is pretty strong and might be at a good price. Let me see. It's been a couple of days since looking at the charts. It is all right looking, and there's not a lot of data yet, but we can draw a Fibonacci retracement from the low, candle low right there to, whoop, why didn't that draw? Am I missing something? Fib from low. Why can't I draw? What is going on? Maybe it's too low. Let me do that. From there to about there. And we're approaching that level that I like. You could probably swing trade in between these regions. But I would eye up ICX as well. I think ICX is a better one. I think ICX is a platform, and I like it, and it's the Ethereum of Korea, and Korea is very big on blockchain and cryptocurrency. So I think it would be, it's not a bad time to look at or entertain ICX. It's one of the coins that is, I guess, lower than most right now. It's approaching good levels, good entry levels, I suppose. So, you might want to ladder in, maybe right here where it's currently at, and maybe there where it's, headed, hopefully. No guarantees. Hit that thumbs up button and give us a like. And I will give away, why don't we give away some free cryptocurrency to a lucky person on the channel. So random number generator to determine where the random number generator rather to determine where the winner comes from. We'll do 1 for Facebook, 2 for Twitter, and 3 for YouTube. And then we'll pick one. And lucky number 2, 1 for Facebook, 2 for Twitter. So anyone who shared yesterday's video on the channel will be given some free cryptocurrency. So let's take a look at how many retweets. I think Twitter only shows us the last 25. So thank you for everyone who retweeted. And we will log in, I guess, so we can see who the retweets are. And we'll give you guys some free cryptocurrency. Let me do this real fast. All you have to do to be eligible tomorrow is share this video either on Facebook or Twitter, or comment on the video with your ERC20 address. And what do we got? We've got 46 retweets. Like I said, I think only 25 show up. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yep, 25. So we'll pick a random number between 1 and 25. And lucky number 16. So we'll count backwards. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. So Klaus Van Houten, you just won yourself some free crypto. So congratulations, fella. I'll copy your name out and we'll reach out to you. Both Populous PPT, and Deep Brain Chain pumped and dumped. Do you think the projects are any good and worth a small investment? I'm not super interested in either project, TBH, to be honest. I don't find either of them super interesting to me, to be flat out honest. By the way, the portfolio tracker on our website is out, and you can check it out. And why don't we go through a quick demo of it real fast? We're going to be adding a bunch of features, and here it is. I actually have to see what it looks like when you log out from a person that is not on it already. So here it is. I don't think we covered this on the channel. This is my portfolio tracker, and these are not my holdings. I just played with it. So you go to settings, you can select your currency, save it, and it'll populate in your currency. And you can filter it. You can look at the prices, whatever you want to chart. You can add a transaction. So say you want to search for a coin. So say you have, PPT. You add your Populous. It populates the current trading price, the date today, which you can change. You can write in some cool notes like, I love PPT. You can say that you bought 100 of them. Hit submit. And what it'll do is it'll add it to your portfolio. And there it is right there, 100. So it sorts it by default on the balance of what you got. And then you can go in and you can actually look at that individual transaction. So you have a number of data points in here. You can add more transactions. So maybe you want to buy 20 more this time. Submit it. It's successfully submitted. And there it is in your portfolio. The notes are here on the far right if you have notes attached to it. You could add in notes. You could remove a transaction. You could trash a transaction. You could remove the coin altogether. You could go back to your portfolio tracker. You can, honestly, do me a favor, break it. Try to break it, because we gave it early to people as part of the Cryptosomniac Advantage. We allowed them to test out a lot of the bugs, and they did a great job at identifying 5 to 10 issues that we didn't see ourselves. Actually, more like 4 to 5 issues. I wouldn't say 5 to 10. We did a pretty good job at debugging it. Right now, we have a lot of features online. And actually, if you're part of the Cryptosomniac Advantage, we asked you to vote on what feature we implement next. And we allowed you to vote. And what we're going to do is we're going to add feature by feature by feature. And those in the Moon Lounge and the Slack community and the Cryptosomniac Advantage will actually vote on what's next. And when we do that, we will we'll just add the next one. So the next thing we're adding is graphs. We want to add graphs. So you should be be able to add graphs, basically. You should allow someone to change the price for the coin or the transaction. Interesting. I don't know. Does that make sense? I mean, oh, you can change the trading price. You can do that all right here. So if you come here to the side, you have a transaction, you are able to edit the price that you bought it for. So you can do that all from right here. You can update the transaction and change the trading price. How do I get access to the Moon Lounge? Do I just pay first, Sam? So yeah, the Moon Lounge is an extension of service to the Cryptosomniac Advantage. You don't get anything that you wouldn't receive like report-wise via email by not paying and signing up immediately, but you do get access to the community that everyone chats in, and it's great to be a part of as well, but you're definitely not losing anything super valuable. We do poll people though there to ask kind of what we should be doing next and work on, but that again is in the community, not maybe it's a benefit, maybe it's not. I'm not going to undersell it. I think it's wise to get inside the Slack community and engage with people and be part of the community. There's a lot of people ask questions, and our team is inside there responding to y'all. And we definitely take into note some of the things. So we have a lot of cool features coming, actually. The next one that we'll be working on is building out some indicators, customly built indicators that we use to trade off of. We'll be working on that just after we get the graphs. So we want a graphical representation here. And do me a favor, bug it, debug it. If you have any suggestions, we'll be glad to add them to the list. We have 6 or 7 features to add to it that we don't have yet. Many of the common ones, we want to add ETH pairings, NEO pairings, and Litecoin pairings for different things. In fact, why don't I just pull up the document with the different suggestions that we have for the portfolio tracker, just so you know. Someone asked on Twitter, what exchange should I use besides Bittrex since they're not accepting new accounts? 100% would say Binance. Binance is hands down the best, and I think second to that would be KuCoin. But here are some of the things. We want to add alerts, SMS configurable, allowing you to select other exchanges, automatic tracking of your portfolio with optional attachment to the exchanges you store your funds on to be able to see them, implementations of certain metrics we trade off of, other pairings like Bitcoin, ETH, NEO, graphical representations, and this as well, which is a long one, which is a feature that we'll look to add in the future as well. But that's the portfolio tracker at first glance. Let us know what you think. Is it good? Is it bad? You can even look at your price in terms of, we added this cool Satoshi button. So you can see the price that you bought in terms of sats. Now, obviously, Bitcoin is very expensive. So it is 100 million Satoshis. But it's kind of cool to look at out here when you have some of those other coins that are in or wanting to be measured in Satoshis. You can even do that on the front page. So, you click Satoshis, and here is the price that it is. 3 sats for Kin, or 4,729 sats for Civic. So I think everything's working for the most part. I actually see one bug right here, actually. There should be a plus sign right here next to that green. We got to fix that. So go ahead, try to break it. Try to mess it up. Let us know if there's anything wrong. I thought we ironed out most of the kinks, but there definitely should be a plus next to that green symbol. But other than that, what else? Request network was added to eToro. Will that be a viable way to buy into crypto from fiat? Maybe. I actually don't know what eToro is. I know that Robinhood is adding crypto to fiat support, and I suspect there will be a lot more apps and things that will allow support for fiat to crypto, and it will just continue to get better and better this year. So again, check out our portfolio tracker. I actually have no idea what it looks like when you log out. Why don't I just do that and log out and click portfolio tracker? Got it. So you need to log in or connect with Facebook or connect with Google. Got it. Well, maybe we will allow you to save some coins for free or something. Will the portfolio tracker be available outside the CryptoSomniac Advantage? Yes. You do not have to be part of the CryptoSomniac Advantage to take advantage. The portfolio tracker is free. We definitely didn't want to make it. You do. It looks like you have to have an account though to save your coins. You know, if you want to see them, an account is free though. You can sign up with Facebook or sign in with Google. You don't need to pay for access to the portfolio tracker. So check it out. Tell us what you think. We're actually going to be adding a ton of cool features to it. Some features that don't exist right now. I feel it is one of the best online portfolio trackers for a website that exists. Does it do capital gains taxes? That is something that we'll be looking to add afterwards. Support for afterwards. Oh, eToro. Does it do capital gains tax on eToro? Yeah. Maybe eToro does. I don't know about I don't know much about it. But anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up here. We are at the 1 hour mark, and I try to not go over an hour. So if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button over there. And if you like the content, hit the thumbs up button. And if you don't like it, you can watch somebody else. Here's a ton of guys that I watch every day. Well, I don't watch them every day, but there's a lot of other people that you could watch in the space. We watch everybody to just get an idea of what information we should be bringing to you. And we just try to condense it and bring whatever's important. So visit cryptosomniac.com. Sign up for the CryptoSomniac Advantage if you're not already. It's free for your first 14 days. So try it out. Let us know what you think. You can, you know, sit on your high horse and leave if you want. Nothing wrong with that too. Or you can be part of our community where we cover a lot of exclusive content. We bring first-rate media coverage to you. We support and rank ICOs each month. We you get access to our team and I around the clock. Someone is always awake answering questions. And it's fun. So, until then, I'll talk to you all later. And we'll be in Dallas tomorrow. And we will try to live stream some of the event when and where applicable. So, we'll be speaking at the Bitcoin Super Conference held in Dallas, right near the airport. The Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Blockchain Super Conference. So if you're there, maybe we'll see you. Who will be attending? John McAfee. I'm super excited to not see John McAfee speak. Anyway, I'll see you guys all later. Peace.